Hey, what's up, guys? It's Robin here with Oracle Rising. So I wanted to do a little piece on a spiritual diet, and as always, before I sit down to shoot a video, I do research online, and I gather, well, as many facts as I can. And you know, the internet is always 100% correct, but anyway, I digress. So I wanted to do a piece on a spiritual diet. So I find that the more aligned people are, a lot of people anyway, the more spiritual their diet becomes. And I wanted to sort of explain that to you. Spiritual diet really looks at what foods will unblock your energy body, unblock your chakras, and unblock your pineal gland the best. So I'm going to read a little bit of a list here. So the first one is water, and this should really be alkaline water, you guys. This should have no fluoride in it, and this could even relate to the water that you bathe your body in. Fluoride it's just not good for you. And I did a video early on when I started my channel on fluoride, and you can find it in one of the playlists there. So if you're not familiar with the hazards of fluoride, I'd really want you to do your own research and find ways to filter it out of your life. Fluoride is a neurotoxin, and it can actually build a crusted layer around your pineal gland. And your pineal gland is basically the heart of your intuition, right? So without that, you're kind of steering your spiritual body blindly. So fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, nuts, whole grain bread, brown rice, seeds, olive oil, fresh herbs, berries, beets, and lemons. So those were the top. Like, I went to a bunch of different websites and I found things that were like had a commonality with each other, and those were the ones that were very in common with multiple websites babbling. So what to avoid: processed foods, like anything that has a shelf life of 100 million years. Anything that can last longer on a shelf than you can, you probably should avoid it, because they're so processed and chemicalized. Dairy, soda, sugar, and caffeine. So some people are probably reeling in shock when I say things like that, but you can obviously understand why certain things are not good for you. And if you look at the number of people that are lactose intolerant, it's because dairy is for cows, not for humans, right? Like, we're the only species that consumes the breast milk of another animal, and it's not made for us, right? So you're fine without dairy. There are nut milks and oat milks and rice and pea and like just so many different alternatives. And I think a lot of people could turn their noses up at like, ew, almond milk, but ew, cow milk, like, what are you doing? So and the cheeses have come a long way, and there's so many amazing nut-based or other not cow-based or goat or whatever, any other animal. You just don't need an animal product to enjoy dairy. There's some really, really good plant-based alternatives. So I really want to highly recommend them. And I'm a vegan, you guys. Just quickly, I saw something, it's been almost 8 years now, that opened my eyes in a really horrifying way, and that actually sort of kicked off my spiritual journey, because like one thing led to another. And veganism is a real eye-opener, you guys, and I'm not here to preach veganism to you. I believe that everybody's going to have their eye-opening moment when it comes to stuff like that. If you guys want to ask me questions in the comments, like how I started and stuff like that, I'm always happy to help people, but I'm not using anything as a platform to like preach my lifestyle, but you know what I mean? But and I just found that it opened my heart, soul, and body. I find that animals actually react to me in a different way. Like they come up to me in a different way, like sort of full of trust or whatever. So here's the difference between eating fresh food and eating animal products. So vegetables and fruit they're alive, you know, they're fresh, and they come to you basically clean, you know, especially if you're eating organic food. Let's not get into what's going on with spraying chemicals on food, because that's just a really terrifying subject. So if you can grow your own garden with vegetables and fruit, that's fantastic. Otherwise, you know, try to eat organic, even though it's kind of expensive. Or like, take the time to rinse your fruit and vegetables properly. I think a good vinegar soak will do it. Do your own research, guys, and whatever works for you. So I just wanted to touch on something really quickly, and I saw a video, because I talk about my guru Paramahansa Nityananda, and I saw him do a video that was really quite, he did it in a humorous but eloquent way of, you know, what consuming animals does to your aura, to your spirit, to your energy, your chakras. You know, if you haven't seen videos or anything about what is actually going on in animal agriculture, I just don't know what's going on with you, or why you haven't seen this. But you know, animals, they're not tickled to death to be on your plate. I mean, they're actually put through a very abusive life cycle. They're scared, they're tortured, you know, and it's really brutal and ugly. So, and to me, it just doesn't really matter what sort of defense statement people have, well, it's my choice or whatever. And I said I wasn't going to bang on about it, but I just wanted to say that, you know, if you're consuming things that are violent and tortured, it's going to have an effect on your body. You know, there's all kinds of medical reasons not to eat dead animals and secretions. You know, there's just so much science, you know, and people have healed themselves by using a plant-based diet. Like, I had a friend of mine who was, he had lymphoma, and he, for like, just decided not to, my dog's coming in right now. Hi. You know, he decided to switch to a plant-based diet and use naturopathy instead of, you know, the regular route that doctors might subject a person to. You know, and he healed himself. And I've seen people heal themselves from diabetes. So, you know, if you don't have a good reason, like if you think that, well, it's my choice to eat this, like, what about your body? You know, and what about your spirit, and what about your soul? And start looking at stuff like that, because, you know, and I'm just going to throw out there, if you need more convincing, you could watch something like What the Health, or you could watch Earthlings, which is called The Vegan Maker. And quickly, you guys, like, even animals in entertainment, like I watched Blackfish, and that's about how, my dog's chasing her tail, how, oh my God, she's so cute. But anyway, hi. I watched Blackfish, and that's how people, they capture orcas to perform in their aquarium prisons. And I've never cried so hard in my whole life. I've never cried so hard. Like, it's their families, you guys. And I'm going to do a separate video on that, but I really wanted to just focus on what's best for consuming to make your body whole, make your heart and soul whole, you know, open up your chakras and really be able to align with your higher self and your guides and everything like that. And sorry, I went on a little bit of a vegan sidekick, but it's basically who I am as a person, and respecting myself and others, you know, and all spirit, because we're all one, you guys. So I'm gonna go let my dog outside right now, because she's just staring at me. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and remember to subscribe and shoot me a comment on your lifestyle and your thoughts and opinions. And if you have questions on being vegan, let me know. Okay, take care. Bye.